Well, it appears that the speech of hate is making a comeback on Facebook, although I would like to warn some Europeans to consider before posting, since some European nations are treating the speech of hate like child pornography, in the sense that you post it, you get police at your door, and then you can go to jail. I'm not kidding, especially in the UK. For instance, in the UK, they arrested more people for stuff they posted on social media than in Russia, which, in my opinion, shouldn't happen in a free and just society. But it was, and you get to read articles like a girl being harassed by the police because she posted a rap limerick online. Stuff like that. So just because you can post doesn't mean you should if you're from Europe. Like, check your country's legislation, and most importantly, check how they're being applied and enforced. Because some countries may actually have legislation against the speech of hate, but what they consider to be speech of hate is very different than what I guess the Democrats would consider. While in other nations, like in the United States, you can go wild, although it may still impact your hiring possibilities. Basically, my advice to people, and this is regardless of what you end up posting online, is to have two accounts. One account is for the one that you want to show at work, is for the account that when you write a resume, you add to the list. And that is an account where you absolutely love your profession, whatever that is, right? Like if you want to be a doctor, you have that account and you show pictures with you going to medical symposiums, talking about medical issues, picture with your colleagues at the university. And then you can have another shit posting account where you're sharing edgy memes and stuff that may concern world governments. But seriously, be very considerate with what you're posting, because you never know when the culture may change again. And so stuff that you post now may affect you 9 years down the line. It has happened. And I want my subscribers to be able to have well paid off jobs so that they can get rich and fat and send me super chats. Now, let's talk a little bit about the mainstream media. Like, as you can see here, there are two wolves inside you. The Daily Star is saying wildest things you can now say on Facebook. So their editorial is like, you can now be edgy. Like, Facebook can be fun again. You may find funny memes. While The Verge, incredibly concerned, the Roman Empire is collapsing. Horrible things, right? It's with horror, with dread. Only the strongest amongst you can now walk the halls of Facebook. They did change their terms of service in a very interesting manner. Basically, you can now talk about any political concept you want. Just don't attack people personally. So you can say that certain sexual orientations are tied to mental illness. You can talk about IQ. You can talk about many such dark magic and heretical concepts, as long as they remain in the state of a concept. So, like, you can say that a sexual orientation is tied to mental illness, but you can't call a person mentally ill because of their sexual orientation, right? So, like, you can still get banned. It's not 100% free speech, but the enforcement is different. Like, now you can talk about the politics as a whole, like concepts. So in other words, it's back to the 2016 era internet. Like, everyone is wondering, like, how will this affect society? Like, how will such changes? I mean, we already know. Like, we've been through 2016 era internet. If you want, you can still create a Facebook group which doesn't allow that type of speech. And you can enforce it any way you want. In the 2016 era internet, if you were behaving like an asshole, if you behaved like a cheeky little shit, you would get blocked by people. And eventually you would get blocked by so many people that you realize, well, hold on a little bit. I can't make any friends. I don't have anyone to talk to. I need to change my behavior. And so the community itself was policing, and they were managing to create people that, despite the fact there were no terms of service, despite the fact that they could say anything and not get banned, they would learn that, okay, well, some things are not acceptable to say. And again, they would change by themselves. Why is Facebook able to do this? That's an interesting question because 2 years ago, I don't think this would have happened even if Zuckerberg would have wanted it. The first thing is that the advertisers don't have their union anymore. For those of you that don't know, Elon Musk sued their union and they disbanded. I think it was called GLAAD or something. Like some of the biggest advertisers on the internet decided to unionize, and then they were the ones writing the terms of service for social media, which is why most social medias had the exact same terms of service. And so the union is now gone, and social media platforms are able to yet again create their own TOS. Another reason is the fact that Facebook is actually relying on small businesses. They are the best platform actually to advertise for small businesses, especially in European countries, where if you have all these Facebook groups that are dedicated to someone's town, they're dedicated to local areas. And so if you have a coffee shop, a restaurant or something, that's the best place to advertise because people who actually go on those places, they can share the news. It's like, hey, a new cat cafe has opened in my area. The small businesses aren't really interested in the speech of hate and other such nonsense. They just want people to have eyeballs on the product. Finally, the winds have changed, right? So like there is a complete shift in culture, a complete shift in the way of thinking. And so Facebook is realizing that you can't be old and reactionary anymore. You gotta be forward thinking. You gotta look at progress. And it seems that the progress is, at least right now, towards less censorship. Now, some individuals are concerned. It's like, well, so Zuckerberg is a good guy now? Like, no, obviously that's not what you need to think when you hear about this. You need to think in the sense of the internet. If more and more platforms are on the side of the free speech, it's more difficult for the European Union to crack down upon them. Like, they can't crack down on the entire internet because it would have economic consequences for them. It's a lot more difficult for advertisers to complain if all social media companies are forming ranks and they're like, no, this is what we will allow. Well, then the advertisers are going to have difficulty pressuring. And so you now have Twitter, right? Twitter, you got Facebook, two of the largest social media giants, basically saying that no, like we are going to change our TOS and we're going to allow for more speech. And if Google would join ranks, then okay, the internet is now locked down. And all of the moral busybody, all of the activists, all of the journalists will have to cope or go on blue sky, which is like jumping from the ocean into a tiny puddle. Right? So this is why I'm happy with Zuckerberg's decisions. I don't know how he's going to deal with the people working within Facebook. That's another story, but it's a story for another time. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.